This episode is brought to you by Roni Rent, your go-to source for premium event rentals, and Real Home Lending LLC, NMLS number 2049205, your trusted partner for all your mortgage needs.
Welcome back to Fearless Empowered Women. I'm Veronica Oladeji, and today we are going to be talking about honoring the legacy, the stories of women veterans and entrepreneurs. And my co-host is
I am Eunice Ladipo. As Veronica said, today's episode is a special one because we are honoring and celebrating women veterans who have transitioned into entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
So, in the celebration of the Memorial Day, we want to talk about these amazing ladies.
Yeah, that's right. So many women who served in the military take the skills they learned, their leadership skills, resilience, discipline, and they apply them to the business successes. Today, we're sharing stories of incredible women who have turned their military experience into thriving businesses.
Hmm. If you're a veteran, an aspiring entrepreneur, or someone looking for inspiration, this episode is definitely for you.
hmm So let's talk about the strength of women veterans in business. I'm sure everyone knows a woman or a family who has given their service to the country. So women in the military gain valuable leadership, problem solving, and crisis management skills, all of which translate seamlessly into entrepreneurship.
And it's not just skills, you know, the mindset, the resilience, and the ability to adapt, that military service instincts are exactly what is needed to thrive as a business owner. We can't talk enough about how resilient your mind needs to be needs to be as an entrepreneur. There
Yeah,
are days where maybe things will just not go as planned. So
right.
that
Yeah.
toughness is, I'm sure, it will be invaluable for veterans since
Yeah.
that's part of their training as military personnel.
Yes, and I know a couple of veterans actually. Just what they go through in the military is jaw dropping. The regiment, the service, training, everything that they go through in order to prepare to serve the country is something that one needs to really respect. They've come out of it with such knowledge and such consistency, such growth, and so many tips and tricks that has definitely helped them and helped them to flourish. So, statistics show that women veterans entrepreneurs are on the rise, actually. So, with over 400,000 veteran owned businesses being led by women in the US of A. And that is incredible.
Incredible indeed. It really is. And despite challenges like funding, we know that very well, transitioning to civilian life and navigating business ownership. These women are proving that their service to the country doesn't stop when they take off the uniform.
Indeed. And my cousin, I have a cousin who is he is a Navy veteran, and he's also married to a also his wife is a veteran as well, and the stories that they have of resilience is just amazing. So but let's highlight some amazing women who have made successful transitions from military service to entrepreneurship, because many people, once they finish their military service, the question then is, what next? They're still young, they've learned a lot of skills in the military, and the question is always, what next? Well, these women that we're about to talk about will delve into what they did next.
Hmm. One powerful example is Cassie Kelly, who served in the US Army before launching Pathfinder Labs, a mental health and wellness company supporting veterans.
Hmm.
That's
And this
impressive. That's
It
really
is. It is, especially with all the stuff they go through. I think mental health is definitely something that needs to be covered and discussed and managed with veterans. There's Kimberly Jung, a former army officer who co-founded Rumi Spice. It's a company that supports Afghan farmers and employs women in sustainable agriculture. So that's amazing. She took hers to the kitchen, created some spices that you can, use in your kitchen and help in Afghanistan.
that's impressive. I know of Rumi. I didn't realize that the owner of it is a veteran. That's
Yes,
impressive.
indeed.
Another inspiring woman is Phyllis Newhouse, a U.S. Army veteran who became the CEO of Extreme Solutions, a cybersecurity firm that's making waves in that industry. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. I love that. She's defending her country. She came out and she decided to go into IT and cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is huge. It's
Yes.
huge now, so definitely the right way to go. These women prove that military experience is an incredible foundation for business success, and that no transition is too big when you have the right mindset.
Yeah, let's pause and think about that. um, that it's in support of what the community is about, which is taking up the right mindset, making sure that you're surrounded by a community that will enable you to withstand the tough times. And so this is really good. It's good that we're highlighting women that are doing bold things, you know,
Yeah.
after serving the country.
Yeah, and if you are a person who needs discipline, who needs to learn how to be consistent, who needs to learn the importance of resilience, find yourself a friend who is a veteran, because they have so much experience in those different areas, and you can certainly learn a lot from them. So first, discipline and structure. In the military, everything is about strategic execution, and that's key in business. Having a structured approach helps with productivity and decision making.
That's very true. So, moving to leadership and resilience in business, what can we learn from women veterans when it comes to leadership and resilience in business, Veronica?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What I just mentioned is one of them. Discipline and structure. That's something that they are taught throughout their work life in the military. Everything is about strategic planning and making decisions. Um, so that's definitely a big one. Um, Other points?
Yeah, so I mean, I think another point will be problem solving, you know, under pressure, especially. All of us can maybe solve problems when things are going well. How about when things are not going as well? So military training teaches you to adapt quickly in stressful situations.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's your skill for entrepreneurs when facing business challenges, which is unavoidable if you're a business person.
Yes, yes. I think, and that's probably why I get on well with my military friends and family, because we have the same trait, in business, in especially in events planning, there's always a lot of pressure, especially in the last few weeks. There's always a lot of pressure, and just learning to keep calm and problem solve is a huge part of events planning, especially on the day curveballs are thrown at you. Well, in the military, it's more like dodging bombs, right? But in my world, it's about learning how to manage these problems, learning how to solve these problems, risk analysis, risk management. So, yeah. Third one is the importance of teamwork. Teamwork and networking is a huge part of what veterans learn in the military. And the military is built on collaboration. And successful entrepreneurs know that building a strong network is key to growth.
Indeed. Your network is your net worth. So, yeah. And finally, resilience. Veterans understand setbacks, but push forward with determination. Something every entrepreneur needs to succeed. Yes. There are days where things you can't even imagine will show up. I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, you know what? That's it. I'm closing my doors, and this business is over. I'm not. I'm going to go back and find a job or something." You have to just keep going. Maybe tap into your community of support. Maybe just continue to take one step at a time until whatever the current issue is resolved. There will always be things like that. It's part of it's part of owning a business, to embrace uncertainty, to embrace challenges, and stay resilient.
Okay. So let's talk about ways that women veterans have and women who are veterans can transition into entrepreneurship. I think it's something while we are celebrating this Memorial Day holiday period, or while we are recognizing women in the military, that it's important to highlight how some of them can transition into business after they are done working, serving, sorry, in the military. So if you are a veteran or you know a veteran who is interested in starting a business, here are some actionable steps to make the transition smoother. One, and this is something that I've learned from, other veterans and something that I've researched through them. It's find your passion. What do you love? What skills from your military service can be applied to business? Right? Use veteran resources. Programs like SBA's Roots to Business and Bunkers Labs, they help veterans transition into business. Create a business plan. Now, that applies to everyone looking into business, right? Create a business plan and treat it like a mission plan. Set clear objectives, strategy, and execution steps. Leverage your network. Okay. If you are a veteran, you are good at collaborating. So leverage your network, connect with other veterans, entrepreneurs, mentors, and business organizations for support. This one is crucial. Seek funding opportunities, right? Money makes the world go around. So seek funding opportunities. There are grants and loans specifically for veteran owned businesses, such as the Veterans Business Fund. Seek funding opportunities to help you grow your business.
And to add to that, if you are in the US and you are in your planning phase for your business, and funding is something that you haven't found a way around, reach out to us. I may have one or two things that will help you find the right funding for you. Grants, there are business grants, there are fundings, there are so many things that a lot of people don't know about. So reach out. I can be of help to show you a thing or two. Okay. And most importantly, just start, just start. I'm all about this. Just start. It won't be perfect. You obviously won't know everything that you need to know, but start with whatever you know. Start with where you are and keep going. I watched the latest Mrs. Obama's podcast, in my opinion. And the lady that was the guest for that particular edition, was talking about you won't see all the way through in life, but you're never going to see it, or you're never going to get anywhere if you don't take off. So just take off. So, do the best with what you have within what you can see, and then you move on to the next level, and move on to the next step, and move on to the next step. And before you know it, you've built this successful thing. So just start, please. Mhm.
Yeah. And remember what we've always said, like we've said this so many times, you don't have to be great. You don't have to have everything perfect to get started, but you have to get started to be great or to be perfect. So just get started, like you said, and it will things will plan out.
Yeah, it will come together. Or you will learn.
Yes.
Sometimes you start with one thing, and that will open your eye to another thing, and you transition to it. But if you don't start, you will never know.
Yes, I think we're speaking to every woman out there really today, not just the veterans. Today we're saluting veterans and we're recognizing all their efforts and what they've learned over the years and what they can do next to become entrepreneurs if they so wish to. But this message is to every woman looking to take the next step in her business or in her entrepreneurial journey. Take that bold step. Don't wait till things are perfect. Get started. They may look like they're not perfect initially. It may look like, oh, you're not ready, you don't have the right things. But you know what? Those are the limitations, those are the things, mindset that stops people from really achieving what they want to achieve.
That's true.
Fear of winning, fear of not being able to, not being capable, fear that they just don't have what it takes. But take that first step and you'd be surprised how easy the next step becomes.
That's true.
So before we wrap up, okay, let's go over some key takeaways from today's conversation. Okay.
So, yeah. So, women veterans bring strong leadership and resilience to business. Their military experience is a strength.
Yeah, they are. And transitioning to entrepreneurship is possible with the right strategy and passion and support system. You certainly can.
Hmm.
Um,
And another one that we talked about is that resources exist for women entrepreneurs, for everyone, actually.
yes.
Take advantage of grants, business programs, and mentorship networks. Business grants are there. In most cases, they're free money.
Yeah.
So, especially for veterans, I know that these things are available. So, look into them, tap into them, and use them to build your successful businesses.
Yes, and networking is key. As we said this so many times, you have to network. Connecting with fellow entrepreneurs and veteran business owners will open doors to success. So make sure you are networking, make sure you are tapping into those resources and to those connections that can really catapult you in your entrepreneurial goals.
And lastly, your service continues as a veteran entrepreneur. So, you're still serving people by providing services and products, and you have the power to inspire, uplift, and lead.
Yes, you do.
Our challenge for you this week is to reach out to a veteran entrepreneur and support a veteran owned business.
Yes,
Let's celebrate and uplift those who have served.
I like that. I like that. So that's it for today's episode of Fearless Empowered Women. We hope the conversation has inspired you to honor and support women veterans in business. And yeah, we hope you will support them and appreciate them.
Right. And if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who would benefit from these insights. We appreciate all the reviews we've been getting. Thank you very much for your
We
engagement.
do. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, whether via email, text message, comments on our YouTube or comments on our Instagram page. We love seeing them. It energizes us. So thank you for cheering us on. Let's keep the conversation going. Tag us on social media using Fearless Empowered Women and share a story of a veteran entrepreneur who inspires you.
Until next time, keep leading, keep thriving, and keep empowering.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Fearless Empowered Women podcast. We hope you found it insightful in your growth and empowerment journey. Connect with us on Instagram at Fearless Women Pod, or send us an email to podcastview@gmail.com to share your views. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We look forward to connecting with you soon.